Before the gunfire, before the empire marched, there was a kingdom not built of stone, but of discipline, unity, and identity. A kingdom where every man was a warrior, and every warrior part of something greater. This was the Zulu Kingdom, and in 1879 it would face the greatest military power on earth. By the late 19th century, Southern Africa was a region in transformation. The British Empire, driven by ambition, trade, and control, sought to unify its territories from the Cape to the interior. But one force stood in the way: the Zulu Kingdom. Independent, organized, unconquered. Unlike many societies the British had encountered, the Zulu were not fragmented. They were centralized, disciplined, and ready. The foundation of this power was laid decades earlier by one man, Shaka. He transformed a small clan into a military state. He redesigned weapons, introducing the short stabbing spear, the Ikwa, forcing warriors into close combat. He reorganized society into regiments Amabutho, grouped by age, loyalty, and absolute obedience. And, most importantly, he changed how war was fought. Instead of scattered clashes, he created strategy. The horns of the buffalo formation, a tactic that would one day shock the world. By 1879, the Zulu Kingdom was ruled by King Cetshwayo kaMpande. He was not reckless. He did not seek war. He understood the power of the British Empire and tried to avoid direct conflict. The peace was fragile. Tensions along the borders increased. Disputes over land and authority escalated. And the British were looking for a reason. In December 1878, the British delivered an ultimatum to the Zulu king. Its demands were impossible. Disband the Zulu army. Accept British oversight. Abandon sovereignty. This was not negotiation. It was provocation. To accept would mean the end of the Zulu Kingdom. To refuse meant war. The answer was inevitable. In January 1879, British forces crossed into Zululand. They came in multiple columns armed with rifles, artillery, and confidence. They expected a swift victory. After all, they had conquered vast territories across the globe. What could stop them here? The 22nd of January, 1879? The British camp at Isandlwana lay exposed, overconfident, underprepared, and then they appeared. Thousands of Zulu warriors, moving silently across the landscape. Hidden, coordinated, patient. Then they struck. The Zulu army deployed the horns of the buffalo. The chest engaged the enemy head-on. The horns encircled from the sides. The loins waited in reserve. The British fired volley after volley, but ammunition ran low. Formations broke, and the Zulu closed in. Hand-to-hand combat, spears against bayonets, chaos. By the end of the day, over 1,300 British soldiers lay dead. A modern army defeated by warriors armed largely with spears. That same day, at a small outpost called Rorke's Drift, another battle began. A handful of British soldiers outnumbered massively built makeshift defenses. Wave after wave of Zulu warriors attacked. The fighting lasted through the night. Gunfire, flames, desperation. This time, the British held. A rare victory in a day otherwise defined by shock and loss. News of Isandlwana reached Britain, and it stunned the empire. How could a force considered primitive defeat one of the most powerful armies in the world? The answer was clear: discipline, strategy, courage. But the British response was also clear. They would return, stronger, relentless. British reinforcements flooded into southern Africa. This time they adapted. Defensive formations tightened. Supply lines strengthened. Firepower increased. Battles at Kambula and Gingindlovu turned the tide. The Zulu fought bravely, but the balance had shifted. The 4th of July, 1879, the British Army advanced on Ulundi, the heart of the Zulu Kingdom. The Zulu launched one final assault, but against disciplined rifle fire and artillery, they could not break through. The capital burned. The army was shattered. The kingdom fell. After the war, the British dismantled the Zulu Kingdom. It was divided into smaller territories ruled by different leaders. Weakened, controlled. King Cetshwayo was captured and exiled. A once powerful nation reduced. But history remembers more than outcomes. It remembers moments, and Isandlwana was a moment the world could not ignore. It proved that an empire could be challenged, a people could resist, and victory was not always decided by technology alone. Today, the legacy of the Zulu Kingdom lives on in culture, in identity, in memory. Their story is not just one of war. It is a story of resilience, of unity, of pride. In 1879, a kingdom fell, but its spirit never did.